understand. It's very rarely that you get a brand name that in itself is evocative of what the market sentiment ought to be. I mean, I don't think there's anybody in the market who's here for losses. I think we're all here for profit, right? So fundamentally, what we said is that let's understand what the word profit means. It's always been, I mean, if you really look at it, it's a dirty word, right? It's what people used to say, that for the longest time, profit has always been like a dirty word. It has been always seen as the privilege of the few. But if we have an aspiration to be a 5 trillion sort of an economy, then can profit really remain exclusive, right? If you really look at it, I mean, I'd like to quote a bit of Arthashastra, right? And it's very important. Whenever I've been in doubt, I've always gone back to the scriptures, right? They always say that profit is essential. I mean, there is nothing, we always say, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So profit is as important as the dharma is, right? And it says wealth is to be pursued, but in a way that it sustains the society and the state. So there's this beautiful phrase which is all about mansa, vacha, karmana. And this was at the center of everything. I know if three of these things really come together, then I think profit is not, ceases to be that slightly exclusive, dirty word, right? This triad basically means thought, word, and deed. In the dharmic framework, mansa is about the intention behind the wealth creation, the transparency, which is vacha, the honesty in contracts, and then of course karmana, which is the ethical conduct. Where, so when three of these things come together, this becomes the essence of where profit is, right? So profit is achieved in alignment with these three, and that is supposed to be shuddha, right? Even in our civilization thought, profit was never just a number, right? The Arthashastra showed us that the profit must always be aligned with the mansa, vacha, karmana, right? And in this pursuit, when, with this clarity, when we move ahead, profit becomes more than a private gain. It becomes an opportunity for all to get. It's the same shot that we all get to take, and this is the true democratization of profit. And I think we're living in the age of democratization, right? I mean, I think the ministers here really spoke about the fact that reforms are going to be continuous. It is always going to be, there's always, nothing is inevitable but change, right? Things will keep on changing, and I think, democratization is going to be at the key of everything. So Bharat and profit in the age of global turmoil. I mean, we are living through an incredibly interesting time, right? It's better, it's more exciting than most of the thrillers that we see. But if you really look at it, at the ground level, today a shopkeeper in Jaipur can sell nationwide on e-commerce. A young investor can buy shares even for $100. A woman entrepreneur in Kochi can scale a startup just through the understanding of the market, right? In the last 10 years, if you see, our democracy has also been sort of democratized, right? Nowhere is it clearer than in the equity partnership, participation that you see. So in 2025, if you really look at the numbers, 2.4 crore demat accounts were opened. And strikingly contrasting in 2025, that trickle has become a flood. 19.2 crore accounts, 17 crore new investors have been added in a whole decade, right? In FY25 alone, it's like record 4.1 crore accounts in a single year. That's more than the population of most of the, many countries in the world. Every month, nearly 4 million Indians join the market, and every minute, 100 new accounts are opened. So, and this is where the whole old guard is going. And I was really amazed to know that 75% of these accounts are being opened by people under the age of 30, right? And this is a generation that would rather sort of own than really observe. It's no longer, profit is no longer the privilege of a few people who played the market in the olden time. It's today everybody, whether you're sitting in your living room, whether you're really sitting as an entrepreneur, whether you're a housewife, right? Every bit of that matters, right? Now, 25% of these investors are women now. So 1 in 4 women are, investors are women. Brilliant, right? Even, I mean, this was quite interesting. I saw a very interesting research which says that 84% of homemakers, and they are not a part of the workforce, homemakers are involved in investment decision, right? So now, does that mean that, does this change the landscape of how a news channel must sort of speak to the audience? It's going to be speaking to it's not going to speak to the few, it's going to speak to the new, right? So this was at the crux of what we wanted to build when we started looking at NDTV Profit. Even GST has been simplified, right? It's broke down the straight barriers and brought millions of small players into the formal foray. So everything is sort of structuring itself to a democratized infrastructure. And today, everyone is in the system and everyone has a chance to benefit. And today, this is where the whole take has been that from Dalal Street to every street, democracy is now demat, right? And they are all here for one thing, profit, right? Profit is no longer the privilege of the few. It is the possibility of the many. NDTV Profit is here to make that a probability and possibility real, right? And this has been at the crux of the communication that we want to put out as well. And I think there can't be more exciting time. You know, when you're really reinventing a business news channel, this is going to be the channel that translates a lot of policies. It's going to include new audiences. This is going to be a very exciting time for us. And we are very excited to be a part of this journey. This is where, you know, every business, I mean, I'm sure the agenda is to sort of step up and really bridge the knowledge gaps, highlight the opportunities a lot more, and make profit a shared possibility. So not just for a few, but also for the new. This is where we are. I'm going to play a short video which will leave you with the new line, the slogan that we have all arrived at, which with much more unanimous consensus than what I saw in the last one. But very excited to sort of showcase this. Here we go. So that's NDTV Profit 2.0 for you, right? So amazing. Thank you very much. Very exciting journey. Thank you, Rahul, Gaurav, Tamanna, and team. Really amazed and really a lot of congratulations on this new journey.